endless battlefield. It's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they.
Running free. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman. Fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Buffalo Bills. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
They'll run with Michelle. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. The numbers a week ago for Michelle: 18 carries, 66 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Sony Michel, and it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, here's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big run there by Freeman, 78 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Under team. Hey, check. He's coming.
Smith trying to run for it. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last two games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, they run with Michel. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
I'm here all day.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Here we go.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Out of the gun, Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Ready, 25.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
40. Check. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the check.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Again, it'll be Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's McCray now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Following the touchdown, McCray set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Newton. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fielded just inside the 20. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Ryan. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Zay Jones with the rest of his offense as they take the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
McCrane on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it, and the Falcons grab it. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think
rush coming, and he's taken down. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. His guys are on the road to Blowout City. They lead it big as we send you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. The Broncos, they've taken an early lead against the Chiefs. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skill.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Ryan. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. From the gun, Newton. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the 39, Newton. Jones has it. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. Newton will bring him up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. On the toss, here's Michel. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. On the ground, Michel. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Let's get it.
Throwing on second down, Ryan. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
14 yards there on a Falcon first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check. 49.
On first and 10, it's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Hey, Tuesday. 49, guys. Mike.
Another try after the first down sack. Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, it's Ryan. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
20, 58, boys, 58, ready to go.
Now Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side of the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 33. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Undercrunch. Hey, Tuesday.
Ryan going to get to Freeman on the draw. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 12, Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the draw, here's Michel. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here?
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you...
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1-2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're not out of it at 0-3. But the other part, too, it leads to doubt about your system, leads to doubt about your coaches. They don't have to worry about that now. They can move forward.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Newton. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Falcons, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.